end up calling this show. JBlaze11 on the Sharpstream side says, I liked her on Fresh and Fit. Okay, so we were talking about that off the camera. I am joined by Allie. She runs the YouTube channel, The Real Femme Sapien. You can also follow her on Instagram at The Real Femme Sapien. Allie, welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I did not expect it because I've been watching you for a long time because you make me laugh. You make me laugh a lot. And so every time I see someone complain, well, he is really harsh, I'm like, honey, like that's the brand. It's like comedy and truth. I'm into it. Why are you angry?
It's because it's the truth. That's why. It's not what he says. It's how he says it. And I love it when girls tell me that because I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna be even more of an asshole now just to get them triggered. So give us talk about yourself a little bit. Who are you? Where did you come from? What are your experiences like? How tall are you? Dress size? Just kidding. You also called Kevin Samuel's show as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But so tell us, who is Allie? I don't want to say her last name, but who is Allie V?
Alrighty. Well, just for fun, I am 5'4" and I
Your dress
am
size?
dress size 4. I got some muscle on me, so
All right,
I've been
good.
working out. Yeah. But aside from that, really, I've just lived a really fast life. It wasn't intentional. It was just kind of the city I grew up in. I grew up in Central Florida,
Oh wow.
south of Orlando.
Okay.
And so I didn't quite fit in with traditional women.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pretty mean girls. I didn't fit in with them. So I was
Right.
always with my own crew, kind of on my own for a long time. And then I ended up getting picked up, feeling so alone by like this group of party people in
Yeah.
my city. And so,
Yes.
and now I'm pretty much a reformed party girl. I joined the military, got it under control. I'm divorced. I'm with my fiance right now. And traditionalism pretty much saved him. Femininity, well, saved us. And then
Okay.
femininity was really kind of salvation for me because I got to stop being so uptight and just be able to breathe.
Yeah, very good. Now, obviously, there we go. I was hoping the intro music. Now, obviously, you said that you are a reformed party girl. What
hmm
was there an event or a series of events or an aha moment that said, okay, I'm on the wrong path and I need to take a new path? Or was it a series of unfortunate events?
Well, my life is a series of unfortunate events, but this particular situation was I was about 19,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of living out of my car and experimenting with drugs at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
just had a really and just not the best home life,
Okay.
and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, ah, that's disgusting. You're a statistic. That's gross. Are you going to do something about it
Wow.
or are you not?
Okay.
And so that's how I ended up joining the military. But I was never meant to be a party girl. I just couldn't find people that I could vibe with coming from my background because I have a strong character. Like when you go through some stressful things,
Of course. Of
you're
course.
kind of loud with your personality.
Yeah.
So I just went because I thought, well, that's the only way I can relate or hang out with people is partying. But I never liked it. Like I was always in a corner. I was
Mm-hmm.
always unhappy. It wasn't fun. Like people thought I was fun. People thought I was a good time. People would invite me back. They just got old really quick. And hangovers, I
They
mean,
suck.
what is? Yeah, it takes you a whole 48 hours to recover
Yeah.
sometimes.
They
I'm like, it's
suck.
such a waste of time. So that's where I'm at.
I'm not picking up. See, here's the thing. So you're very well spoken. You're very feminine, very docile. If someone were to tell me about you what you just told us about you, I would not believe them. So
Yeah.
how is it that you were able to go from this party girl, strike one, to experimenting with drugs, strike two, to going to the military, strike three? How have you, and you said you had this loud, boisterous personality, and listen, strife and
Mhm.
struggle and adversity, it forces both men and women to adopt masculine traits because masculinity is strength. And
Mhm.
you got to have a little bit of that to get through this stuff, but no woman should ever have to go through that. So how in the world did you go from being this party girl with all of these red flags to what we're seeing here? Because again, I'm an excellent judge of female character, and I've known you now for 4 minutes and 31
Yeah.
seconds, right? So far so good. But how, like, has this always been who you really are, or did you have to teach yourself to become feminine?
So I had to teach myself.
Okay.
There wasn't a whole lot of home training. You have to think most women that are born today are modern women. I just happen to be a modern woman with traditional values.
Okay.
So the situation that I was born into is basically my father wasn't around. I know of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's mentally just not in the best shape. Like I wouldn't feel safe with him. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up on the news. Him and my mother
Wow,
didn't
that good,
have.
huh?
I mean, if they interview me, I'm singing.
All right, there you go.
So my
That's
right.
great. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
My parents just, they were married, they got divorced. It was young. They were in the 90s and they were raised Pentecostal, right?
Oh boy, here we go.
So
Yep.
I,
Yep.
yeah, came into the single mother household. But here's kind of the thing. Like my mom, she's a soccer mom now, but back in the day, she used to party. But I was like a kid. I didn't know.
Ah.
I was just like, oh, we always hanging out with people. It was always a loud time. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna sleep on the couch.
Right, right,
Then I
right.
got older. I saw my mom kind of reform to an extent. I also saw that my mom in many ways and sorry in many ways could not really be at peace with the I think she wanted to be a housewife, but I don't think she could ever say that out loud.
Right.
Right. So
Right, right,
I
right,
just
right.
learned a lot from my mom, and just kind of looked at my life and thought about the things that I wanted to keep from her and the things that I needed to change. And
Okay.
it's not to dog on her. It's the goal of every parent that your child does better. I just had to do some more work on my end in order to accomplish those things because I want a good life. I mean,
Of
I have a
course.
good life now,
Sure.
but it's within my control. My life has improved a lot since having an external locus of control and having an internal locus of control. And that's where I'm at.
Wow, very good. You're very open and honest and self-aware. I like the fact that you said, "Hey, look, man, I was a party girl, but deep down inside, I really wanted to be feminine." I got news
Mhm.
for you, Allie. Every woman wants to be feminine. Now, there are exceptions to
No
the rule. I
kidding.
mean, yeah, right. There are exceptions to the rule. Every so often, you'll get a 0.00011% of woman who is just not gonna. I mean, for genetics and whatever the case may be, but at a woman's core, the essence of femininity is what gets women access to everything they need. So that brings us to today's topic. Women want to get married, but they don't want to be married. In other words, they want the ring, but they don't want to be wives. Talk to me about why women want all of the pomp and circumstance of the engagement and the wedding, but then after the honeymoon, they want to go back to living that same life.
It's their girlfriends on Instagram. It's so stupid.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
Here we go.
like let me tell you how that there are young women right now, 18 to 20 years old,
Mm-hmm.
that are getting pregnant in groups with their Instagram girlfriends
Oh,
from
wait,
college.
wait, hold on,
Like
hold
they're
on.
out here doing these
Wait,
things.
wait, wait, hold on. Let me just hold on. Just give me a
Yeah.
second. So you're telling me this is the first time I've ever heard this. So you're telling me that there are groups of girls on Instagram who are getting pregnant at the same time on purpose.
They say it's not on purpose, but I don't see how it couldn't be.
Oh
Like
my
by the
god.
sixth chick, I'm sitting here looking at like what's going
Dude,
on here?
unbelievable, unfrickin' believable. Okay, please continue. I just wanted to make sure I got that straight.
It's a little bit just trying to get female attention. I can't particularly relate to the wedding piece until recently. When I was
Mm-hmm.
younger, I never really fantasized about having a wedding,
Mm-hmm.
but I do find that the women that are like that, they just have this fantastical idea, right? And I had a little bit of a fantastical idea when I was first married, because I am divorced. I was married for 5 years,
Right.
but I got married when I was 20. I knew him for 3 weeks. It was more of like a safety situation, but
Wow,
I didn't
three
know.
weeks.
I
All
didn't know it
right.
was like, yeah. Well, it lasted 5 years.
Shotgun wedding, baby. Woo! And listen,
Yeah, pretty much.
before you continue, every little girl has the fantastical wedding. Little girls, 5,
Mhm.
6, and 7, they dream of the big wedding. So I don't think that's social conditioning in that regard. I think it's just natural for when little boys play, we beat each other up. We pretend we're superheroes. When little girls play, at least this is the way it used to be when I grew up, little girls used to pretend to get married and have a children and push around a baby in a stroller. So it's in every girl. So a lot of guys are hard on women who want this grandiose wedding. Not it's like that to a degree. But when you start getting into the, I guess the surface level shallowness of the wedding, I've got to have doves flocking and I want to be Jennifer Lopez in Maid of Honor or Maid in Manhattan. That's when things go awry. So I'm never going to fault a woman for saying, hey, listen,
Right.
I want my wedding to be a special day. I have no problem with that.
I 100% agree. I don't really think men should be suspicious of a woman's intentions with a wedding unless they're paying over 40,000. Then you have to look at like, what is she asking for that doesn't really need to be there? Like, what's going on here? But for the most part, we just want to be able to have our day, our moment. It's one of the biggest, even though feminism's lying to women, it is
Hmm.
one of the biggest achievements out there to get
Yes, it
married,
is.
right?
Yes,
I
it
mean, we
is.
think about that, but it is kind of a problem for women to realize that the marriage is only one day. and
Wow.
well, the wedding is only one day, and the
Right.
marriage is forever. So what are you going to do the rest of the time?
After the
And that
honeymoon.
was right, and that was something that really hit me in the face with my first marriage around like the third year, where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to be a wife. He doesn't know how to be a husband. Like
Right.
what did we do here? But thankfully we didn't have children with one another, and it was a very amicable divorce. By the way, like these women taking men to courts all the time.
Yeah.
You can get divorced for like $200. You don't need lawyers.
Listen,
Like,
I got divorced. Well, listen, and ladies, women know that. There are now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are now women who get married. They've already retained a divorce attorney. They plan on shitting out a kid or two. They've already got the plan. Now, that's an extreme, but it happens a lot more often than you might think. Also, my divorce was equally as amicable. My divorce only cost me $12. So I can, yeah, dude, $12. I think I had stopped to get gas, and I paid $8 in gas, and $12. Here we go. This is the cost for my divorce. But you're the exception to the rule in this regard, because you and your ex-husband, you guys were married for 5 years. You didn't have any kids. You guys were broke. You were young and dumb. You didn't know what you were doing. So it didn't really take any collateral damage. So what happened after you got divorced in terms of your life?
right. So I ended up leaving casual sex when I was 19.
Okay.
This is important to kind of explain that I haven't really been on the dating market since I got married when I was 20.
Okay.
I was married, and then now I'm engaged, because I didn't find that the lifestyle was fulfilling for me.
Okay.
And it's scary for me to date because I had been off the market for so long. It was scary for me to date after I got divorced when it came to my fiance, and I was like absolutely terrified.
Okay.
So
Why were you terrified?
well, everything I knew, and like my only support network, because I'm a little bit disenfranchised. I don't have like a family network that I believe that I could rely on.
Okay.
Right. So my ex-husband
makes
was
a
my
big
only
difference.
family.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have the best family life, and so your ex-husband had, I guess, what appeared to be a better family life than you did?
A little bit. Well,
Okay.
mostly that he was my stability, and then
Okay.
it's like when you get divorced, your best friend is gone, and I was like, who am I now on my own? How am I going to make it? Who's going to want me? Like, what's going on here?
Okay.
And then I stumbled into a relationship with my fiance, and it became really apparent to me. I believe that he is the best match for me,
Very good.
and that we can have something really good. But I had to get my crap together. I really
Right.
needed to get it together. I had to do like a mental inventory. Had to do like a wife renovation. Like, how am I going to make this marriage work? Because when people look at celebrities and comedians and actors, actresses, they're like, you can't do that. It's that they're so special. They
Yes.
they're the exception to the rule here. And I'm sitting here looking at people with successful marriages, and I'm
Sure.
like, no, like those people exist. Like, why can't I be one of them? So I just went on this whole internal journey. We've been to couples counseling a few times, and
Okay.
that's how that all ended up working out. The biggest piece of it was femininity, which to
Mhm.
me, it wasn't my intention to be a
Okay.
feminine woman.
Okay. But it looks good
Right.
on you. Like you seem to be happier as a feminine woman. Am I wrong?
Oh, no, 100%. You're
Okay.
right.
Okay.
I dig it way more than I did being, I suppose, like who I was before. It's nice to showcase yourself with your new self-esteem,
Sure.
your new self-worth, where you're like, I'm putting in some work in my life, and I want to look like I'm putting work into my life. So
Right.
I appreciate it. But what it was, as I wanted to see how he would respond, because I kept hearing men are simple creatures. I read this book, The Proper
We
Care
are.
and Feeding of Husbands by Dr. Laura Schlesinger.
Okay.
And then I started getting some tools and tips, and I was like, you know what? Let me try to be feminine for 2 weeks. Like, let me just find out what's going on here. And then I did it, and our relationship improved significantly very quickly. And
Wow.
I made a choice to keep doing it. And then I ended up really enjoying it. I have so much less anxiety now.
Who knew? Who knew? How long have you and your fiance been in a relationship?
I think it's been about a year and a half. I knew him for a couple of years.
Oh, okay. Very good. And how long have you guys been engaged? When did he pop the question?
Well, shoot. You're about to find out I'm really bad with dates. I think it was summertime. I don't know. I'm not really good at that. I know our
That's okay.
anniversary is the 4th of July. That's what
All
I
right,
got.
there we go. Okay, awesome. So take me inside of how you and your fiance met, even before you guys got romantically involved. Why did it take you a couple of years to to, I guess, see him as a potential romantic partner? And where was the line of demarcation? When did you, did you always see him as a romantic partner, or was it not quite, and then there was something that happened? How exactly did that happen?
All right, before everybody burns me in this chat, I just
Oh
want y'all to
boy,
know.
here we go.
I just want y'all to know that monkey branching it happens, okay? Even
Okay.
if you don't know what's happening. All
Okay.
right, so, um, well, I was
Hey, we're
married
honest
in the
here at
military.
TSR. Listen, we are here we are honest here at TSR Towers. So hey, listen,
Wait.
listen. You're separating yourself from 9,700% of women because they never ever admit when something they do is not exactly right. So please regale us with the story without incriminating yourself too much.
Oh, definitely. But I'll get to it later.
Okay.
I want to say women are truly unaware of our moves. This whole like beta male orbitor. I was like, what? That's the thing. I'm like, apparently it is. Okay, whatever. Moving on. So I worked for my fiance in a clinic in the military. So he was
Okay.
is a medical provider, but I worked underneath him, and this is while I was married.
Okay.
And to me, you can't entertain any kind of attraction. Like, you can look if you're gonna have platonic friendships, because I like to be mentored by sincere men
Okay.
who understand I am not gonna sleep with you because that's just like the integrity that I have. I'm not gonna do that.
But
it doesn't mean I can't learn from them.
Well, not only that, but you do understand that the only reason why men deal with women, and you're a good-looking girl, it's because they want to fuck you. Even if they're doing something for what you believe is the right reason, the end game is always to smash. But you're not stupid. You understand that, and listen, if you don't want to smash, that's fine. It is what it is.
Pretty much. I know that probably majority of my male friends that I have, which I've only got like maybe two,
Want to smash.
they would. If
course,
I asked, like,
of
if
course.
it broke up overnight and I hit them up, they would probably say yes. But that's just like, we're adults here. That's life, right? I happen to look pretty good. That's it. So I saw him more as a mentor role because I wanted to respect the boundaries of my marriage. But
Okay.
the thing about being a mature adult in that kind of situation is you can say, I do find you attractive, but that's all I'm ever going to say. And then you move on, you leave it at that.
Oh, but
Yeah.
did you tell him that you find him attractive?
Did I tell him?
That's a yes. So you shot your shot. Listen, you low key shot your shot.
He told me.
Okay. So he said to you, he said, Allie, I know you find me attractive. Is that what he said? How did that go?
Right. So I think I told him in another time, in another life. But before, there was one time that he told me, because I was complaining about these really annoying coworkers. And he was like, you don't understand. You have something that they don't. You have sexual charisma. These people will go their whole lives without ever having something like that. And then he just like casually walked away. And I was sitting here like, what did this guy just say to me?
Yeah,
like,
he low key shot a shot. You were sexually
Yeah.
attractive and they are not. I think that's what, and you picked up on that. So how did this start to blossom from there?
Okay, so just maintaining platonic friendship where we get lunch every now and then, because we like talking. I like talking to people that are like-minded. I like philosophy, I like war, I like economics. Can't really have those conversations with women. Like, this is my problem.
Okay.
Aside from that, I got divorced, and he was around, and he was looking real good, like a snack.
All right. So you got with him because you really truly do care for him. He was. I mean, listen. Was he the cause for the divorce? Yes or no? You don't have to get. Okay. You don't have to get. You don't have to get into that. But just like you said, the branch swinging aspect is real. At least you admit, hey, listen. While I was still married to my husband, I was feeling this other guy. Women try to lie. Well, I was never. No, there's always somebody on the radar. But listen, if you tell me that wasn't the cause of your divorce, listen, it is what it is. I'm not worried about that. Talk to me about the couple's, or actually, this is the first question. What, other than the fact that he was a higher rank than you, what do you like about your fiance at this time? What about him makes you want to marry him?
Well, he's just interesting. If you would have told me when I was young I was going to marry a white man twice my age, I would have looked at you like, you crazy? Like, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to end up in an age gap, but I always saw like older guys were hotter. So
Okay.
my ex-husband, even though he is my age, he looks a little bit older. So that's just kind of what I went for.
Okay.
So I definitely, like, I had a come to Jesus meeting on that. I was like, yeah, I like older men. This
Okay.
doesn't make me weird. I need to
Okay.
stay strong in this and not feel weird.
Good.
But he was a really good mentor and a really good friend to me in
Okay.
the past. right? So
Okay.
that kind of played into it a little bit where I think it is good to be friends with someone before you pursue anything romantic. I think that's a wonderful thing to experience. It's also some of his accomplishments, the fact that he is able to practice medicine, the fact that he started from nothing, blue
There you
collar
go. There
family,
you go.
and made something. I really like that he's dependable. Just I was lacking a lot of things before that I have with him, and they're consistent. And also, he's fit. He
He's a
isn't
good-looking guy.
stringent
Am I
on it.
wrong?
Yeah, and
There you
my
go.
like to me, yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's
Listen,
super
I've
hot.
seen him.
He's got
Yeah.
abs at 49.
Yeah. I was gonna say he
Um,
looks. And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 26.
Okay, so you're yes, so you're still young, you're still pretty. Your fiance, pardon me, your fiance is 46, but he looks fantastic. He's in great shape. Clearly, you two are like-minded, and so
Yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, no.
but for women, I understand where women say, hey, listen, I need to be somebody's friend before I get romantically involved. That doesn't work for guys here. If a woman, and I understand the reason why you didn't pursue that. And listen, good for you, even though, okay, I know I'm attracted to this guy. And what a lot of guys need to understand is that just because you're in a relationship with a woman doesn't mean she automatically stops being attracted to other men. I know that Devin sees guys all the time that she would love to smash. It is what it is. Like she's a woman, she has eyes. But at least you respected your marriage enough to admit to yourself, number one, okay, I'm kind of feeling this guy, but only when you can admit to yourself that that you find someone else attractive can you then do take the requisite steps to make sure that you don't act on that. Because if you're in deny, and you go to this innocent lunch, well, all of a sudden now you're back at the barracks doing the horizontal mamba, and now you got to go back and
Right?
tell your husband, listen, the baby in my stomach may or may not be yours. So good for you for being honest with that. The point that I'm trying to make is that you own what you like. You like the fact that number one, he's attractive, he's in good shape, he's accomplished, and he's smart. He practice. He's a medical professional. Not
I
many.
love smart guys.
There
That is
you
my
go.
thing. It
There you
screams
go.
resources.
There you right exactly, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm trying to give this man a legacy.
There you
know,
go,
I'm gonna
man.
stay home, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This house gonna be spotless. Like, what's the problem?
I love it. Now, do either you or him have any kids from a previous relationship?
No, none between us. We got a puppy.
I
That's been
is
a lot of fun. Like,
the
if you
golden
feel like y'all are
retriever, is that what that is?
stalemating- Yes.
Oh
yes,
my God.
he's wonderful.
He is
oh,
the
man.
cutest puppy. I saw that he wedged himself between the seat and you. You remember that
Yeah.
picture? Oh, dude, yeah, I love. Listen, I love puppies and babies. That's for sure.
I know. I'm a huge fan of Walter. Walter's my guy.
Oh, yes. Oh, is that your dog's name?
No, I'm talking about your cat.
Oh, my cat. I was like, dude, that's my cat's name. Yeah, dude, I love Walter to death. He's actually asleep right here. He should be waking up in about 10 minutes, just completely. He's always unplugging shit, attacking my gerbil, but I love him to death. So obviously, clearly, there are many, many reasons why you and your fiance are getting married. What did you guys have to go to? If you don't mind me asking, what did you guys have to go to couples counseling for? What was happening? What was going on in the relationship where you guys had to go to counseling?
We didn't have the experience we needed in long-term committed relationships.
Okay.
It's a lot of miscommunication, a lot of accidentally offending people. He's got his stuff. Like, he's in the military. He's done some war things. I've lived my life. When you show up as these people with a lot of baggage, right? You have to sort it out, because I am never surprised by domestic violence. Right?
Really?
Everyone wants to act brand new. How could a human do this to another human? I'm sitting here like, look, they don't have the tools that they need to function in a healthy fashion in a long-term situation.
Okay.
Not that we have particular issues like that. I'm just saying human nature is human nature. So we knew that we had a hard time understanding each other and talking to each other. And I think at one point I was like, I want to leave. I want to move out. And he just put all my stuff in the hallway. And I got home. I was like, I can't believe he
actually did it. Yes, right. Because what he was supposed to say is, no, Allie, please don't leave. Stay and work it out. But the fact that, yeah, exactly. But the fact that he said, oh, you want out? Okay, bet. I'm going to put your shit in the hallway. And you're like, wait a minute. That's not how this goes. So right off the bat, he shows backbone. If you say some shit, he's going to. Now, I'm not saying that he liked to have to do that, but he did what he had to do. You said, I want to move out. He said, all right, well, listen, this is not what I want to happen. But if this is what you want, there it is. That garners a lot of respect from a woman when you can actually make a move like that.
I just learned to stop playing stupid games.
There
I did
you
something
go.
like that before, when I think I was 18. This was the first really nice guy that dated me. His name was Alex. So I ended up breaking up with him. I was like, he's gonna want me because he wasn't giving me enough attention. He's always hanging out with like his
Oh boy.
fat loser friend on New Year's Eve. He's like constantly crying,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here like, am I your girl or is he your girl? Like, what's going on? So I thought,
We're
I thought
finished.
I'd break up with him,
Uh-huh.
and that he would wake up and smell the coffee. That was 8 years ago, Donovan.
Wow.
He ain't never smelled no coffee. So I just I learned quick.
And that's the and so many women, and you are very fortunate to have run up, and my legal name is Alex as well. You were very lucky to run up on a couple of dudes who are going to take what you say seriously, right? Because just like you said, you admitted here, listen, I'm going to break up with Alex so that he can come running back to me. But guess what, Allie? If he comes running back to you, maybe you take him back. But at that point, your attraction to him is gravely compromised because you know he's weak-spined. This doesn't mean that Alex took the breakup well, right? I'm sure that it killed him for you to break up with him, but he also knew, listen, if I go running back, it's never going to be the same. Well, that's the same thing as your fiance. I'm sure that he probably had a tear or two in his eye when he's putting your stuff out in the hallway. If Devin came to me and told me, look, Donovan, I want out, I wouldn't fight her on it. Okay, we'll go our separate ways. I'm not going to sit here and say it wouldn't crush me, but by the same token, if that's what she wants, I'm not about to cry over no bitch, right? So I think that's what a lot of guys lack. They're afraid to call a woman out on their bullshit. And, oh, you want to play games? Let's play fucking games. But by the same token, now the guy has to be willing to walk away. So she said, all right, well, I'm out of here. Fine, get out of here. And then you really leave? No, come back. No, it doesn't work that way. So talk to me about what happened after you tried to play that game. He put your stuff in the hallway. What happened right after that?
Oh man, this was so dramatic. My man, he will pull out all the stops, so he's trying to teach you a lesson. Okay.
Real talk.
So I had this little apartment, and this is where the income power distribution is a little bit different. So I was fresh out of a divorce. I had this crappy apartment in the middle of downtown, and like the window is overlooking machines and straight across to the other apartment. Right.
Yes.
So I had to like live in this dark, dingy apartment for 2 to 3 weeks while like earning his trust back to move back in. Right.
Wow.
And then,
wait. Hold on. Just a second. So he actually grants your wish and you leave. Not what you wanted to do, but he made you do that.
Oh yeah. He was like, no. Bye. I was like, oh man.
Okay.
Right.
So you said, I want to leave. All right, fine, leave. No, I was just kidding. No, you said you wanted to leave. You can fucking
Precisely.
leave. There you go. And so so now you have to live in this dark, dank apartment. What did he tell you? Listen, in order to get back in here, you have to do what?
Well, it's so funny you say that. So actually, we came up with like a little bit of a contract. Obviously, nothing legal, just symbolic.
Sure, just an agreement, yeah.
Right. Because a lot of couples, even the ones that have been together for years, they never talk about their boundaries or their desires. Like, what kind of wife are you looking for? What kind of husband am I looking for? So we sat down, we had fun, we ironed out this whole thing. But this was a weeks-long process of just keeping my cool, him keeping his cool, and we just decided to go to couples counseling. So I moved back in, went to counseling.
Okay.
And now we go every couple of times that we come into huge conflicts.
Okay.
Right. And I think that's good. I know other couples might not struggle, but hey, like maybe these other people are way passive. Like everybody wants an alpha until you're living with him.
Yes, that's right. That's
oh
right.
man, it's a little bit of work. Like it's work that I'm happy to do, but it's like that respect goes a long way.
Of course. And
so,
the thing, and women, I don't like to use the word alpha. I mean, I like to use the word leader because so many guys use one habit as a referendum on one's overall. Well, Donovan Sharp has a cat named Walter who's always with him. That's not alpha. Okay, fine. I'm the leader of the relationship. A lot of women say they want a leader until they get a leader. And a lot of guys say, well, I want a submissive woman who's going to follow me until they get a submissive woman who wants to follow them. Now, all of a sudden, she's looking for your guidance. Hey, should I wear this? She's going to ask your permission to do a lot of stuff. Jesus fucking Christ, she's asking me to... Dude, you wanted a doting, docile, submissive woman. This is what it takes. So what were some of the lessons you had to learn in terms of really wanting a leader or an alpha as you described it? What are some of the pros and cons that you would advise women? If you're really looking for this type of dude, this is what you have to expect.
I'm going to get heat for this. Learn how to shut up.
There you
Okay?
go.
Just learn how to shut
There it
up.
is. Oh, wait. There it is. Love
It's
it.
true.
Love it.
We get fed a lot of propaganda in a way. I think fourth wave feminism is a problem. I love classical feminism, classical liberalism. I think those things are very important.
Sure,
And
sure.
I don't like going to countries where women can't work. But let's be real. It is a lot of you can have it your way, have your cake and eat it too. It's always the man. It's nothing with you. You know, and all that does is let you be 60 and alone with cats, and you think your family is going to be there for you. Well, like, honey, if the women before you made the same mistakes you did, what
Right.
makes you think that they're going to be able to support you? Like, come on now. So he kind of like trained me a little bit, but we also learned things together. I come from a Christian background.
Okay.
I wanted to learn about Western femininity, and I'm an anthropology major, so I look at a bunch of
No
different
shit.
cultures.
How about that? Okay. Well, that's actually quite
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Thanks. And I knew that Western feminine ideals were based off of Christianity, right?
Okay.
So then I start looking at all the things that women are commanded to be in the Bible, and I'm looking at it like, this is actually good stuff. This is good information to be sober of mind, sober of emotion.
Yes. Yes.
And that really hit for me, that sober of emotion, because sobriety means a lot of things. It's just you don't ever want to be beholden to your emotions. And women who are emotionally driven, I happen to be I would say a hypersensitive person in the first place, but
well,
I
you're
think
a woman.
women
That's the
oftentimes
way.
do.
Yeah, you're supposed
Yeah.
to be that way. Yeah, it is what it is.
Mhm. So I just try not to let that ruin my relationship because it can get out of control. It's like you're driving the car, your man is lying down in front of the car, like he's tied up, and you know you're driving and you're about to run him over and you want to stop, but you can't turn the steering wheel and it just keeps going.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
don't,
great
most
analogy.
women don't mean to be horrible partners. They're just not getting like the feedback that they need to say, girl, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So those were some lessons I learned, was just, silence.
Okay, so number one,
silence is
So
golden.
number one, learn how to bite your tongue. Number one, learn how to shut up. What's something else that today's women could learn about really being with an alpha male? Something that is going to be difficult, but is absolutely necessary. Number one, learn when to hold your tongue. And Dev talks about that all the time. What's another one?
The other thing is to just understand that masculine men or successful men, to be successful, they are a little bit more difficult, right? Because they will negotiate, they will take the chances, they will push their luck. If it's high risk, high reward, they're going to do it.
Damn right.
Right. And so when they have like that strong character in the house, you do feel kind of small as a woman, and you're sitting here like, he's just stomping all over me, he's forgetting about me. Like, that's not true. It's just that those parts of his personality have brought him a lot of professional success, and so you might see some of that leak into the home. If you ever feel like you're in competition with your man, which you shouldn't,
Woo!
but I know sometimes we be making it up.
That's right.
Right. So if you feel in competition, just tell him like, hey, I'm feeling like this is contentious. I feel like I want some power here. I'm not sure where this is coming from. And if he's a guy that knows how to parse out feelings a little bit with logic, he'll be able to give you some feedback. He's helped me a ton. We have like more like a psychotherapy loop going on here.
Okay. All right. Every relationship is different in terms of the alpha and the submissive. So number one, learn to hold your tongue. Number two, guys like this tend to be difficult. Give me one more thing that today's women really need to understand about leaders in relationships if they want such a man.
Well, I think this might be all men, but it's even better when it's with a leader. It's gratitude. These
Okay.
guys go out there, they're very expendable. They
Yeah.
go and work these miserable jobs, and statistically speaking, he's going to be making more of the money. Like, you might be the woman that is making more of the money. Congratulations, you're an exception. But in general, these guys are making more, and my goodness, the silent things that men go through in marriages, it's silent suffering, and if women were to go through these things, there would be like an uproar.
Yes.
And so, like, just understand that your man lives probably a very thankless life. And so when he does good things for you and you turn around and you say thank you and tell him what you liked about it, that goes a long way. I mean,
does.
if he's out here paying the bills, why can't he have a warm plate when he comes home?
Right.
Why not?
That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, you had it right. We as men, we are very, very simple creatures. It doesn't take much to keep us around on a basic level. Every man likes different things from a woman. We get that because every man is different. But fundamentally, we want a woman who is not going to get fat, who cooks and cleans, who does not embarrass us, and who doesn't cheat. Fundamentally, those are all sort of baseline requirements for most men. regardless of value. Now, in order to deserve such a woman, your value has to be at a certain point. By the way, Devin on the Sharpstream side says, biting your tongue is an art form. She also said word. So she definitely agrees. Yeah, Devin has to bite her tongue with me a lot because, just like I told you, I'm a talk box, and I'm not an easy person to be with just because of who I am, but Devin goes out of her way to show me appreciation all the time. Retro TV, welcome to Chat Privileges. At Retro Bob TV to welcome him to the TSR family. Let's go ahead and get an age and location check in the chat, starting with Retro Bob TV. Appreciate that. Dr. Thunder says, much power to you in 2022. Absolutely. Cigarman85 on the YouTube side says, you're beta if you have fish in an aquarium. Only alphas have orcas and great white sharks. Right, exactly. The dude bros. This is a very interesting comment. Dre Raven says, Don, if you're considering a female version on the 6, I think that would have legs, pardon the pun. Women need guides to unplugging. I think having examples like Devin, Tallulah, Allie to pattern themselves after, as well as the insight of the perspective of Pearls and Tories, I think there would be a broad audience. Dre Raven, I am 6 steps ahead of you. I'm not sure. Have I talked to you about this panel show that I'm putting together yet, Allie, or not?
You have not, but whatever it is, I don't work, so I'll be there.
Perfect. Yeah. So yes, I am putting together a female version of the 6. I think it's obvious at this point. Yeah, I'm putting together a female version of the 6. Obviously, I'm going to be the moderator. Devin is going to be on the show. Hopefully, Pearl will be on the show. I don't think she'll have a problem with that. Tallulah, who is an absolute rock star this morning, she will definitely be on the show. What's her name? Jesus. Oh, Janelle will definitely be on the show, meaning that we only have one more spot. Allie, I think you're more deserving of that spot. I guess I should just go ahead and point this out. So that people don't start asking a bunch of questions and rumors and all that other kind of stuff. Tori and I are not going to be doing shows together anymore. It's nothing personal. She was great on camera. But there have been things that have happened on and sometimes off camera that leads me to believe that she would not be a good representative of what I'm trying to do on this particular podcast. She's young and attractive, but she's not in a relationship. Every one of the female panelists that are going to be on the female version of the 6, I don't know what I'm going to call it, they're all in what appear to be, successful relationships. Allie, you're engaged. Tallulah, she's got a wonderful boyfriend. Her face lit up the screen when she was talking about him. Pearl, she's in a long-term relationship. Janelle, she's in a relationship, and I always forget one person. Of course, Devin's in a relationship. And so the fact that doesn't mean that Tori is either qualified or not qualified. But again, just based on the things that I have seen, and listen, Tori's great, she's awesome, but based on the things that I've seen and heard both on and off camera, she's not a good fit for what I'm trying to do here. I wish Tori nothing but the best, and hopefully that will work out. But no, Tori will not be on my platform anymore. Listen, if there are some changes that are made, maybe in the not too distant future, maybe I could revisit that. But as of right now, the way things stand right now, there's no more. There are going to be no more Torsha Tuesdays. And so yes, I would love to have Allie on the 6 or the female version of the 6. Devin actually wants to call it the 6s and 7s. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
I think that's cute. I like that. Well, you know what? Because I tell people, I'm like, I might be able to get a million. You're like, maybe, but I'm a genetic 7, and people look at me like, oh no, honey, you're a 9 or a 10. I'm like, no, I've been to Miami. Okay, I saw them.
Yes, you have.
I know where I stand. Like, I'm good.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? Dev and I went down to, we've been down to Miami a couple of times, twice, and you see girls all the time. And I'll never forget, we get on the plane, she's like, that's it. I want boobs. I'm like, you want, but like, She's already like a double D. She's like, nope. She's like, if I'm gonna be competing with these girls down here with their, she's like, I want boobs. So we got our boob job. She's like a Z cup now, not that extreme, but yes, Devin has nice firm boobs. But yeah, listen, man, every girl, if you are an 8 or a 9 wherever you come from, you're a 5 in Miami. If you're an 8 or 9 wherever you come from, you're probably a 6 in Vegas. So very, very difficult, very, very difficult sexual marketplaces to be into. $10 super chat from Sight Beyond Sight P. Wow, he said, hey, it's been a while since I caught a live. Stay strong, brothers. I appreciate that. Lair Signal 94 says, I'm all in with this idea. Donovan, Blackmail Media says, call it the Hive. I love it. Cigar Man says, call it 666, 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 figures. I think this is going to be a dynamite. Dude, Devin has come up with a bunch of crazy ideas. I want it to be taken seriously, but there does have to be a little bit of comedic charm to it. What do you think, Allie?
I've been wanting to hear more from Devin because I know that people probably make super like a lot of assumptions about how you guys have your relationship.
Of course.
And I'm sitting here like I've seen her talk about you. She sounds like she is definitely in love with you. And I just want to hear that perspective because I share that similar issue where people think I'm oppressed or something. It's like, no, like I just had like I got like a necklace and earrings for Christmas, plus he cuddles with me and talks to me about my feelings. So I would love to hear from her.
He's a keeper. Yeah, I have no problem letting her out of the cage for 5 or 10 minutes to share her experiences as far as being with me is concerned. So let me ask you this. So you guys plan, so you are engaged, which is fantastic. Do you guys plan to have children? If so, how many?
As many as we can afford. This whole having kids thing, it just comes down to what kind of lifestyle you want to sustain.
Very good.
Yes. So I would like 5, but I think we're going to be on a budget.
Okay.
If I get 3, I'm happy with that.
Okay. So you want a big family.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, man. Now, talk to me about femininity being your brand. I guess this is what your brand is predicated on. Why did you decide to make femininity what you focus on? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that you would like to get the message out there to tell women, hey, being feminine opens a lot more doors than it closes. Talk to me about what you hope to accomplish with your brand, your channel, etc.
I want to help women.
Okay.
Right. I want to help humanity.
Okay.
This is a little bit crazy, but I actually have this young spirit where I can save the world. Well, the best way to save the world is to help children live better quality lives, but statistically, they're always going to be with women.
Okay.
Right. So if you help women to become well-rounded, society will benefit.
Okay.
That's where my perspective is coming from. But a lot of women, because modern women have modern mothers, and we have a lot of very poor modeling going on here. And I'm here to disrupt that narrative because women don't even know what's holding them back. Like I have girlfriends who can afford to stay home and actually probably would be quite happy looking at their personality, cooking and cleaning for their man, but they feel pressure to perform because of family and things like that. And so you end up swallowing who you are as a woman in order to survive or get by. And it's like if women knew the tips and tricks ahead of time, and I don't want to call them tips and tricks, if they just knew what they needed to do to get what they actually want in life, they would be better off. And that's what I try to do.
It's my assertion that the only time women truly embrace femininity, how can I put this? The only time women truly embrace femininity is for male attention. Right? Because everywhere else in every other part of their life, well, I can be masculine and I'm a boss bitch and this, that, and the other. But when it comes to male attention, are women posting pictures of them working on the railroad all the live long day? No, they're posting ass pictures. Not to say that that's feminine, but they're showing off their assets. So women know what men want. They just don't want to give it to them. So my next question is, why don't women buy into femininity? They clearly, women have so much empirical data that femininity is the way. Every high value man, even Donald Trump, Melania Trump, is as feminine as she can be. Why is it that even though women see that the way to get with the highest value man as humanly possible is to be feminine, why don't they embrace femininity? What's wrong with them?
They don't listen to men on what they want in relationships.
Okay. Okay.
They are constantly getting really horrible idea from their girlfriends, from their moms, from their grandmothers, not even looking like what's the quality of your mom's marriage, or like how much of a single mother is your mother? Like we talking
Oh,
3 kids
wow.
here? Is it just you?
Yes. Right.
They
Right.
really just need to stop listening to mentally unwell women about what's going to make your life work. Like look for. I don't want to plug
Wow.
myself, right?
No.
I
Do
try to
it.
be
Do it.
bipartisan,
No.
right?
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You were talking. I believe you mentioned that when women find out, sometimes it's too late. Well, the whole manosphere says this. It's true. Like I have clients in their late 30s coming to me because they haven't figured out how to be a wife or how to function in a
Wow.
relationship with a man. Okay, like, there's real consequences here, and I think it's messed up that a woman ends up dying childless and alone because she didn't know any better.
Wow. Wow. And you are
Right.
and I'm sure that you consider yourself to be so very fortunate to have found this community and
Oh
awaken.
yeah.
Like, you're only 26, right? If you had found this community at 32 or 34, you'd be so set in your ways, even though you know what needs to be done, you might not have been able to do it. So I mean, dude, you're still extremely young. So your brain and your habits and mannerisms and habits were all still malleable. How important
Hmm.
is it for women to learn this from an early age?
I mean, it's probably the biggest factor of a woman being able to stay in a long-term marriage.
Yes.
I think some of your viewers might be familiar with Rebecca Barrett's content. She helped me a ton. Have you seen any of her videos?
No, I actually have not. I've never heard of her. Oh, Egg Yolks has
Right.
a $5 super chat. It says definitely look into Rebecca Barrett. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll look
Oh,
into
there
her.
you go.
Okay.
There
All
you
right.
go. Right. So she had, well, she can go into her own details about her parents' marriage, but she had that modeling where a mom had duty and discipline and stayed the whole time, and her
Hmm.
father was a consistent provider, right? But then there's like my situation, and I was very much coming from where I came from, at risk of dying,
Right.
childless, and
Right.
alone. Um, so I'm trying to like, it's a. I think I lost my train of thought, Donovan.
But
Can you
well,
get
no,
me
no,
back?
no, no, no. That is quite all right. It's amazing to me because listen. We both watch Fresh and Fit, and the young women
Oh, I
seem
remember.
just okay. Go ahead. Go ahead if you got it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. How much better off would I have been if I knew that sooner? Like, let's be real here. I love my man. I
Sure.
am 26. I come with baggage, right? If I had these tools of femininity at 18, who knows who I could have married, how
Right.
many babies I could have had,
Right.
how
Right. Right.
different my life could be. I love my life the way it is, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there isn't some 18-year-old out there who's being primed by her parents who love her and want her to not struggle in life, and
Mm-hmm.
she's ahead of the game. That's who you're competing with as women. There's only 18% of households right now that are nuclear. So marriage is
Wow.
not for the average people anymore, in my opinion. I think marriage is kind of exclusive now. Like you have to be worth a dang in order to be married these days.
Dude, I could not agree more. The nuclear family, unfortunately, that is the exception. That's why people look at you like you have 3 heads when you say, well, I want to have a big family. I want to get married young and have kids. I want to date and or marry an older man and have his children and give him a legacy. They're like, what, huh? Shout out to Neil Ray. He says a lot of women are brainwashed with feminist views and are told to look at femininity as a bad thing. Agree or disagree?
Mm-hmm. Completely agree. So feminism didn't really get me because I thought these women were tripping from jump. I was like, they're
See, that's
complaining
why you
so
figured it out
much.
young. You said you knew these feminists were tripping. What told you that? Like, what told you that?
They
That's
don't
incredible.
have any logic. I love philosophy, and
Okay.
in philosophy, you learn premises and conclusions and how to make good arguments. They don't have any. They're just mad about their own decisions. Like, I'm sorry you can't get married because you don't. Well, I don't
Because
wanna
you're
be
fat.
explicit on here.
No,
Well,
listen, man.
I mean, fat or loose. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's consequences to being a
Oh,
wide open lock, right? Everybody can open lock. Maybe lock's not that great.
I like
Whatever.
you. You're actually looking out for the algorithm a lot better than I am on my own channel. So kudos to you. But you're absolutely right. Women want to be able to, and listen, man, we live in a free market society. Nobody's enslaved. Nobody's oppressed. If women want to be hoes, by all means, go and be hoes. The problem that women have with it is on the back end. You see, you can't be a hoe in your 20s, but then expect to be treated like a lady in your 30s. If you get married young and have children young, well, then you will be treated as such. You will be living a life befitting a pretty young wife. But you can't go out here and give your body to hordes of men and then expect those same caliber of men to take you seriously in your 30s. And this is
Mhm.
why I think that your mind being into philosophy and because you appear to be a little, listen, you're still a woman, but you appear to be a little bit more rationally aware than most women. And I think that a lot of women can be rationally aware, but they are either just afraid to, or they're taking the easy road and say, listen, man, I want fast food romance, and then maybe I'll go to the steakhouse later. What are your thoughts on that?
I have a little bit of anger, a little bit of resentment being late to the
Okay.
party just to find out that I don't need a PhD, that I
Okay.
could literally have the same amount of money, the same
There you
money
go.
by getting married to a good man who loves me and wants to sleep with me, and all I gotta do is clean house. Like, serious?
Right. Like, that's a great deal, right? Like,
Yeah,
stay fit,
exactly.
stay feminine. All you got to do, keep my belly's full. I mean, keep my belly full, my balls empty, and my place clean, and we're good. And we're good.
Right, but let's also talk about what these men afford you as a woman
There
if
we
you
go.
are not taking it for granted and you're appreciative. Okay, time to do what you want. Right, so you can open a small business from home and be cooking and clean. It's easy.
Of course.
Or like for me, he really likes that I work out, but I love working out. You
There you
mean to
go.
tell me that I get to live rent free and this helps to maintain my sexual market value to him? And I get to have a good time working out. Like if women knew
Yes.
how good working out felt, how good looking sexy felt,
That's
and the
right.
fact that a guy would literally, if as long as you're just nice and sweet and consistent, he doesn't care. He'll pay for you to live.
That's
You
right.
just go to the gym and you cook.
That is literally, dude, I literally built a gym in our place. So all Devin does is she builds my website and does all that stuff, and then works out. And then later on, she's in the heels. Wintrell on the YouTube site says, "Who the hell is this lady? She's brilliant." Yeah, it's funny when attractive women come onto my show and talk about wanting to be submissive and doting and actually wanting to take care of their man. It's like a foreign concept to them. So you're definitely knocking it out of the park. Jay Blaze 11, pardon me, says birth rates are going down. Dre Raven on the Sharp Stream side says, and the reality is my family is dying out. The youngest person in my extended family is 38. I'm hoping that if more women unplug, then maybe I can keep the family line going. So I'm going to get you out of here on this because I think this is, well, there are two more questions that I wanted to ask you. So the first question is, what kind of conflicts do you and your fiance have that need to be, I guess, talked out and communicated about? What kind of, because dude, Devin and I, we have all kinds of issues, but we don't really talk things out. I just say, okay, this is our issue and this is what's going to happen. And she either falls in or she doesn't. And she's fallen in every time. And that's the reason we're still in a relationship. So what kind of conflicts do you have with your guy? Is it having to do maybe with an age thing, a generational thing, or a mindset thing?
The age gap situation, everybody's like, how does your age gap work? Like, I think
Works
he's hot
great.
and we have really great conversations. He's just cool.
Okay,
You know?
good.
But in terms of the conflicts that we have, we really just struggle with dominance, power struggles.
Okay.
Right? Because I think part of the manosphere, if I can, and
Go ahead.
I've kind of been into the content for a long time, even before my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But they get it a little bit confused when they talk about a masculine man being with a submissive woman. That is true to a degree, but he doesn't want a woman that's submissive to the world. He wants a
Oh
woman
my
who's smart
God,
and going
that
to be.
is awesome.
Yeah, he wants a woman who's smart and going to be able to hold it down in his
That's right.
absence. She's got to have some sense, and she can't be getting walked all over by society,
Right.
right? And so that is, in my interpretation, you want to be an alpha woman in a group of women, but not like the maniacal evil manager kind.
Of
Okay,
course.
like the nice kind who just can get things done effectively.
Right.
But then he has that whole, being dominant just from his line of work. And
Sure.
so we just clash a lot. And then you get indoctrinated by feminism no matter what. Like, you can't help it
Yes,
being in the
yes,
West.
yes.
And so sometimes I really do get confused. I'm sitting here like, I think he's oppressing me, but I really just have to get
gotta
out of my
fight it.
feelings, get
Yeah.
out of my emotions, take a step back, and then maybe let him know, like, why am I feeling small? Because sometimes he'll tell me straight up, like, yeah, you feel small. You make less money than me. I'm like,
Wow. Dude, your guy's a G.
insane. Well, just when it applies, right?
Of
And
course,
other
of course.
times he'll be able to tell me, no, I came off a little bit too strong. You're right to feel a little bit slighted. It's all about just being submissive to the right guy. And it's not like he didn't demand for me to be submissive. It just led to positive results. We argued less.
Right.
And that's all a man wants is peace.
That's
That's
right.
all women want too. Like, even though we struggle, right? Like we have an idea that we want peace, but we can't seem to like make it last. But we for sure want it because being stressed out all the time is what keeps you in your masculine. That's not fun. Being
Hell
a dependable
no.
woman is great until you're like 9 months pregnant. Who wants
Oh,
that?
Jesus
So
Christ.
we just have that power struggle situation, but we work through it. Mostly trust helps a lot.
And I'm glad that you're self-aware enough in the moment, which is not a skill that too many women have, to say, okay, I'm in my masculine. I need to take a step back. And I like that your guy's like, yeah, you feel small because of X, Y, and Z. That's why you feel small. And it's good that you actively fight the programming, because if you let it go even just a little bit, at some point it's going to fester, and at some point it is going to infiltrate your relationship, and nobody wins in that situation, right?
Yeah, no one wins. There are some winners and losers in arguments. I would say the winners are the people that know that the argument isn't going to get anywhere and know to call it quits. The losers are the people that find that out and they don't say so. They just keep it to themselves. Like, I know I can't win, but I'm going to run the clock here, like just because. That sucks. You don't want
There
to
you
be
go.
that person, and women
Right.
are doing it
Yes.
because sometimes we know what it. There's been a lot of talk in the manosphere about how to know when a woman is losing an argument. I think it's like when we double down emotionally.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. When you double down
man.
emotionally,
Arguments
when
are
you
so
start the
hilarious
name calling, yes. And at that point, we have this where I smile like, yes, we've done it. We've mission accomplished. Damian Hanma on the Sharp Stream side says he's 46 and she's 26, right? So I'm 33. Got to go with a woman who's 19 or 20? Yes. I'll tell you what. I'll put it to you like this, gentlemen. I'll put it to you like this. If you are a 15 or 16-year-old male in this country who is red pill aware, your wife or future girlfriend has not been born yet. That's really the way. That's the way you need to look at things. Unfortunately, the younger, and you seem to have escaped the clutches of feminism. And it's funny, even in your own mind, feminism still tries to reach in and grab you and pull you back, and you're like, no, get off of me. You see these girls on Fresh and Fit, they're lost. Like, I had an argument on a girl when I was down in Miami doing Fresh and Fit After Hours. This bitch is 19 years old. She looks like Brittany Griner. Her voice is deeper than I am, telling me I'm weird because of my standards. These girls she's a stripper who wore a shirt that said feminist. These girls
She doesn't know how much of a fool she looks.
No,
they don't
she
know.
doesn't.
They
They
have all
just
their
don't know.
cackling girlfriends around and they're like, yes, queen. It's like, no, you look stupid on the internet forever.
This is great. Neil Ray, $5 super chat, said, my friend had to go through so many feminist women in order to get to 3 decent girls. One was making $15 an hour, and a 5, and wanted a 7-figure dude. God help us. This was going to be my last question, because this has been a dynamite show. These are going to last for about an hour. Why do you believe that even average women, the 5s and 6s of the world, have these unrealistic standards and will not let them go? Why do you think this is? Why are they not waking up?
Women just think that if a man sleeps with them, that is the seed that could turn into a long-term relationship.
There it is. There it is.
And it's not true. I have met men that have pretended to be Christian to sleep with women.
There you go.
It doesn't mean they're bad guys. It just means like they have a goal.
That's all right.
The goal is the cookie. They figured out how to get there as fast as they can. They just get lost in that. I see it in college a lot all the time. Even though I am older, I'm in college right now.
Okay.
But they just get caught up in that he slept with me, he wants me, that's good enough, and then they're surprised when he just dips.
Right.
You know, and part of it is going to be that golden penis syndrome kind of thing, because the men that women want are the men that nearly all women want.
That's right.
So we're all chasing the same.
Better
dudes,
believe it.
right? But if these guys are in their prime, in their physical prime, super hot, and on his way to becoming wealthy, why is he going to settle down from like 20 to 20? He's not.
Nope.
It doesn't make any sense to like expect him to unless he's a devout religious person.
Right.
Okay, and if that's you, girl, you better lock that down. Make that man some lunch because he's the one. Okay, but if he's not, like, let's just be realistic here. I'm not even sure that some women have enough sense to be dating in college. I don't think they understand what's going on here.
No, they don't.
Because women think that all these dudes are getting sex, and it's just not true. But part of it too is this is where my fiance comes in handy.
Okay.
Because I just tell him, like, why are these 10s going after 4s? I don't understand. And he just basically said a 4 is better than your hand. And
That's
I was
right.
like, oh no. Like, and now that I know it, I can never go back. But it's true. And if he's tired at like 2 a.m., wants to put in the minimal effort on Tinder, because he knows he can have her, he's gonna do it. That's why like women can't complain about getting burned from Tinder if they're on Tinder. Tinder is the perfect thing if you were a sociopathic male and you
Oh,
just wanted
yes.
ill-gotten gains. It's perfect. Right?
Yes,
So
baby.
then, like, why don't you try dating in real life like a reasonable adult? Like,
You want to know why,
you can do
Allie?
it.
Because that's hard. That's why. Men and
Oh, I
both
know,
men and
yeah.
women these days want to do what's easy as far as relationships. Last question, and this is really the last question. This is a great conversation. I like that we're both talk boxes. Dating apps. Dating apps is, how can I put this? Dating apps have really, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because you mentioned something very poignant there, is that women should be dating in college. Now, if I had a daughter, I would never, ever allow her to go to a 4-year school. If she wanted to go to community college and get maybe an associate's degree in early child development, hey, listen, you can go to a local school. You live here rent-free. We'll give you a car to drive. We'll take care of all of your bills so you can focus. And then, of course, me being the man of the house, I'm going to be kicking out any dude she's trying to bring home to protect her value. But if a girl does end up going to a 4-year school, and here's how dating apps have ruined that. Dating apps and Instagram. And this is not the fault of a woman. You take the typical 18, 19-year-old attractive girl in college. She can either date men or guys her own age, right? Or if she's swiping right, if she sees a guy on Instagram who is in her area or even across the country or the world somewhere, the guy drives he's 36, he drives a Lambo, he owns 4 or 5 law firms, he wants to fly her out for a vacation. Why in the world would she settle for going out with Dave from the Belk dorm, who has, basically $10 to his name, take you out for pizza, when you can go see Brad in Costa Rica, who drives a Lambo and has all this money? Of course she's going to go for the Brad. She's not going to go for Dave. What dating apps and Instagram has done is it has literally flattened the earth. Women are no longer limited to just the men around them. The dating apps and Instagram have made men available to her around the world. But here's where the math is wrong. Women mistake these. Oh my God, all these guys. No, the guys that you're paying attention to, they are the top 10 to 20%. Just because they're abundant on dating apps does not mean they're abundant out in the world. What are your thoughts on dating apps and how it's affected today's dating market?
I have a lot of opinions.
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
I will start with women need to start leaving men who are 9s and 10s alone. All right.
Okay.
Just leave them alone. Like, you're gonna get burned. You're gonna get dickmatized. Your life's gonna be over.
I love it.
And then by like the third or fourth guy, it's like, come on, honey. Like maybe the dude that is preparing for a life of carpentry, or maybe he's an electrician. Maybe he's the guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because women don't understand like the trade-offs of the men that they're with.
Right.
You struggle with commitment. What's
right.
the other thing? Sometimes you even struggle with fidelity. By the way, women are very confused on infidelity. Like,
yes, they are.
It's like this horrible crime. Like, you're lucky you even found out, girl. Like,
yes, exactly. There you go. See,
anyway.
Yeah, we're like-minded on that. But go ahead. Yeah.
Right. Well, just be cognizant. If you're going to pursue a Greek god, it might make you a little bit delusioned as a woman, because you're looking at him. It's that one-itis situation. The men go through it too.
Yes.
It's just like take him down a peg or two, or if you are just looking for a lay, just take that for what it is. Be upfront about it, right? I don't know, because some women are happy, being promiscuous and provocative and things like that. I've met them, right? It's just like you can't complain about it when you're like 35 and single because everybody else has their own families.
I'll be the first guy to tell, and I'm not a woman, so I don't know, but listen, being a hoe is far more exciting than being a stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home mom. Yes, it's a great time. However, is it fulfilling? No, definitely not fulfilling. So there's a trade-off, and women can't have it both ways. If you're going to be a hoe, just understand you're eating fast food. This is fast food of love. And you said it before, just because a guy wants to smash does not mean he wants to commit. As a matter of fact, if a guy fucks you that quick, if he has any value at all or any knowledge about the game, there's no way he's going to take you seriously if you fucked him 37 minutes after you met him on the first date anyway. But what women need to understand, like you were saying earlier, they can't have it both ways. Is it more exciting to be a hoe? Absolutely, but it's not fulfilling at all, and there are dire consequences down the line. And those dire consequences are going to be the very things that prevent them from being in a relationship of consequence with a man of value. I'll give you the last word.
Well, I don't have much to say other than get it together, ladies. You can
There you
learn a
go.
lot from men. There's an entire community out there. And if you get triggered by red pill or manosphere content, look, take it with a grain of salt. Be an adult, exercise discernment, take what you need, throw away the rest. But don't sit here and blame men for why you're single because you have the ability to be worthwhile.
Very good. Excellent. Allie, this was a hit. I think we're going to do this. I think we're definitely going to do this again next week. We got 450 people watching. Wintrell with the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. William Osborne, $20 super chat, says, keep up the amazing content. Life changing. Love it. Yes, Jay Blaze agrees with you. Allie says, leave guys like EO alone. Yes, Coach Everett Overton. Yeah, ladies, listen, EO is not going to take you seriously if you are a hoe. Dre Raven says, hashtag Donna DeMarco. I do need to get, you know what? I need to get a Donna DeMarco soundboard for the female version of the 6. Guys, if you guys have a show name suggestion for this particular show, send them to me or send them to Allie. TSR at DonovanSharp.com, or you can follow Allie on Instagram at the Real Femme Sapien. Also, her Twitter links and your blog is very interesting.
You read, thank you.
Oh yeah, like it's really you and Dev are. I mean, you guys are of the same mind. That's for sure. Okay, listen, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Take care. Okay, I need to hit the off button here. So this is, nope, that's not it. Where's it at?